Hey everybody, welcome to how to get Pokemon eggs and also just the basics of Pokemon breeding in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I've had a ton of questions from people asking me how I have so many eggs for starter Pokemon since I've been doing shiny hunting for them so early on in my playthrough. So this cutscene you're watching right now, you have to make story progress and unlock your legendary Pokemon for traveling in Scarlet and Violet. And once you've done that, then you have access to picnics, which is basically the daycare of this video game. So before we actually can start getting Pokemon eggs, you have to do one of two things. One, either get ingredients for making sandwiches while you're at a picnic, or two, you can just buy food. So right now I'm going to show you the ingredients of where to buy them. This is at the Academy Shopping District. So the starting location was that Pokemon Center right there. So this shop right here is going to give you strawberries. Buy as many as you want, as many as you need. And then the second location, again, starting from the Pokemon Center right here by the Academy, is going to give you jam and also toothpicks. So if you need either or, this is the shop to go to. They're basically right by each other, but I wanted to, show you guys how to find, each individual shop and have a starting point for each one. But it's super simple, and that is how you get all the ingredients for the super basic sandwiches. So to access a picnic, it's in your main menu. You cannot have a picnic in any town, so you basically just have to go out in the wild and start a picnic. And then you go to the table, it says make a sandwich. Again, this is super early on in the video game. This is super basic sandwiches, nothing super useful that's like amazing, but this is all just level 1 stuff. So all you got to do here is just put the sandwich together. This one in particular will give you the egg power level 1, which you will need 100% if you would like to actually get Pokemon eggs at a decent amount of time. So just make the sandwich and then you'll be good to go. As you can see here, one thing I wanted to point out here is I totally messed up the sandwich, right? I thought this was important to showcase. I don't know if this is for everything, but you can clearly tell that I didn't make the sandwich 100% correctly, and I was still able to get the power-ups for the sandwich. So not too sure if that's for all types of sandwiches, but for at least the basic ones that you get early on in this video game, that was basically, still effective in providing me with the level 1 egg power. So one thing I wanted to point out before you actually start collecting Pokemon eggs and whatnot. So if at any point, if you just like reset your video game, you immediately lose your active sandwich, which would be all the active boosts. If you want to check to see if you have active power-ups, just press the right button on your directional pad, and it'll basically tell you if you have active power-ups, which we currently do. So if you don't want to make the sandwiches, or you just don't have access to sandwiches for whatever reason, in Los Platos, there's actually an ice cream vendor right next to the Pokemon Center here, and they sell a strawberry ice cream. This is the cheapest one you can buy. You obviously have two different ways of purchasing the ice cream, so that's a win. Obviously, if you do the Terra battles, you get the LP money, and then if you just like sell stuff, obviously you'll have money, or when you do battles and stuff. But this early on in your playthrough, the best way to make money is just do the Terra battles and sell the stuff you get. But as you can see, we have the egg power level 1 from that ice cream. So that's the easiest way to just, acquire the level boosting for the egg powers, because you absolutely need that power up to actually get Pokemon eggs while you're on your daycare picnic adventure with your Pokemon. So in this video game, Pokemon breeding is different. You don't have to drop off your Pokemon at the daycare, because the picnic is basically the daycare. So instead of dropping your Pokemon off, you have to bring them in your party. So only have the parent Pokemon in your party. So for this example, I had a male Fuecoco with a female Fuecoco, and I went on a picnic. I had the egg power level 1 active, and then I just had to wait to collect Pokemon eggs from the basket. So if I didn't have a female Fuecoco, I could also use Ditto to get Fuecoco eggs. But for this example, I just had a male and a female Fuecoco, went on a picnic, had the egg power level 1 active, and I just had to wait around in order to get Pokemon eggs from the basket. So of course the footage here is sped up, but I wanted to just showcase the entire process. It's a lot of waiting in this video game, so you no longer have to constantly check for something to acquire a Pokemon egg. It's basically very AFK. So with the egg power level 1 boost, you'll get about 10 Pokemon eggs in around 6 minutes. And once you have had that time pass, make sure you just collect all the eggs, because the basket will only hold 10 Pokemon eggs. If it has 10 Pokemon eggs, it's going to stop producing Pokemon eggs. So collect the 10 Pokemon eggs after 6 minutes, and then continue to just wait around another 6 minutes to collect another 10 Pokemon eggs. Of course, you can collect Pokemon eggs before the 6 minutes is up, but just to give you guys a reference of how long does it take with a level 1 egg power to collect a full basket, which is 10 Pokemon eggs, so it'll be about 6 minutes. So to hatch your Pokemon eggs, you're going to want to have a Pokemon with Flame Body. Fletchinder is a really great Pokemon to have that ability. And if you want to organize and have your Pokemon eggs in your party, press the minus button, and then you can drag the Pokemon eggs into your party very easily. And to finish this video, I wanted to showcase an entire sequence of hatching Pokemon eggs with the Flame Body Pokemon at the start of my party. Again, what you're watching here is super early on footage of a playthrough that has like nothing really unlocked. Of course, Pokemon breeding gets so much better with better sandwiches, and when you get all the boosts for your legendary Pokemon in terms of traveling and whatnot. But if you ever wanted to do like a shiny playthrough, or you wanted to just do Masuda methods so early on in your playthrough, this is basically what you could expect. So this is what I've been pretty much doing, trying to get my shiny Fuecoco in Pokemon Scarlet. But I'm just going to let the video play itself out so you can see in real time how long it takes to hatch an entire party of 5 Pokemon eggs for starter Pokemon. Again, different Pokemon take different amounts of time, but this will give you an idea of just how long it takes to hatch an entire box of 5 Pokemon eggs in Scarlet and Violet, with like the bare minimum requirements up for this video game. Because like, if I just made a little more progress, there's a feature you get that makes things a lot faster too. But even without the power-ups for your legendary Pokemon, like hatching Pokemon eggs in this video game is pretty solid. And one thing also to note, if the surface that you're hatching your Pokemon on is not flat, you'll have a different cutscene. This has nothing negative, it's just a different animation, because the current surface you're on is not flat. So that is why this cutscene happens from time to time if you're just like running around and hatching Pokemon eggs while doing whatever you're doing. So if you see, you know, that cutscene versus the other one, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, something they included in Scarlet and Violet. But this is pretty much it for Pokemon breeding. This is like the basics, like the simplest of simple ways to get yourself going with Pokemon breeding, whether you're using it for shiny hunting or you just wanted to make extra Pokemon to trade to people or whatever you're using it for. So again, I'll have a video in the future talking more about, like, you know, actually like the best ways to do Pokemon breeding in this video game, but I wanted to have an actual video that properly showcases each important step of how to unlock the Daycare, which is basically the picnics, and then how to get everything started before you actually start Pokemon breeding. You have to have your parent Pokemon. And of course, in this example, I used a male and a female Fuecoco. Obviously, the best Pokemon for Pokemon breeding is Ditto, but at this current moment in this playthrough, I don't have access to Ditto, so that's why I showcased using a male and a female Pokemon. So of course, in the future, you know, Ditto will be used for the example. But as you can see here, I had a male and a female Fuecoco. I'm doing Masuda method because I had a Japanese female Fuecoco. And eventually I'll have my shiny Pokemon, but regardless of the shiny, I'm still able to get Pokemon eggs and hatch them and just, you know, basically do Pokemon breeding in Scarlet and Violet. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you just get the basic understanding of Pokemon breeding in Scarlet and Violet. And I'll just see you next time. Thanks for watching. My name's SMK. Now just call me Steven. I'll see you later.